Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about all the new gameplay features that they're going to be adding to FIFA 19. So there are a few things that they did end up adding into the game that are actually going to be very interesting to see when the game fully releases. So we're going to get right into it. Title is obviously what's new in FIFA 19 gameplay. So EA Sports FIFA 19 delivers a champion caliber experience on and off the pitch thanks to the introduction of the UEFA Champions League. So they have officially announced the UEFA Champions League is in the game. Now, whether or not they implement it into Ultimate Team, which they most likely will, to be fair, I don't know if it's going to be like its own separate mode similar to the World Cup mode where, you get to have players from the Europa League and the Champions League, and it's similar to the World Cup aspects of drafts, tournaments, maybe a divisions, or if it's going to be its own standalone mode like head-to-head is in FIFA in general, where you could just use Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and all those types of teams. So it's definitely going to be very interesting to see which direction EA is going to be headed with the Champions League. It'll be really cool if they do create a cool mode like the World Cup, because the World Cup mode I do personally like, but if it's the beginning of the game, then obviously the pack weight needs to be a little bit different, and the situation of actually building up a team needs to be more relevant. But I like how the World Cup is right now. A lot of people don't like it because of how easy it is to get players. But my opinion about the World Cup mode is that, considering that it is the last 3 months of the game, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for EA to make the pack weight so good in that version of Ultimate Team, so that they actually allow you to use all the really, really good players before the new game comes out. So I think it's actually a cool thing. I feel like people are not really seeing it that way, but that's how the way that I see it. People want to build up a team again in the World Cup, but it's the last 3 months. People shouldn't really care too much about that. There's a lot of people that do like it because they get to try out those players. So continuing on. So UEFA Champions League and a series of gameplay innovations on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC that provide new ways for you to control every aspect of every minute on the pitch. If I play FIFA next year and we do a Road to Glory, because we do a Road to Glory every single year, I'm probably going to start it off on the PlayStation, and I'm going to try to get like daily uploads, obviously. I'm not going to do stream cut-ups. I'm just going to try to get a few highlights of certain games here and there, talk about what I did in the Road to Glory for that episode, and then go from there, because I play a lot of games during my streams. I don't really just play 2 or 3 games, because 2 or 3 games would be like the cutoff of making a really good video. But I think if I play like 3 drafts in a day, or I go and I play division games, I might just do really short highlights of those videos. And then I would say I would probably make it up until 22 minutes, because in one full day, if you stream for like 8, 9, 10 hours or whatever it is, there's a lot that happens during those Road to Glory. So I'll just talk about those when it happens. I should have done it the last year, but I was just focused on streaming more than anything. But I will definitely post more to the YouTube channel when the new game comes out. The World Cup mode, very difficult to come up with content because it's not really a Road to Glory, building the team and all that kind of stuff. So I think it'll be a really cool fresh start when the game does release in the beginning. So the first innovation that FIFA came up with was the active touch system. So the new system fundamentally changes the way you receive and strike the ball, enabling close control, improved fluidity and movement, more creativity, and increased player personality when first touch gets an overhaul with new tools such as disguise touch, flick up volleys, or even skill specific animations like the Neymar trap, so you can stay one touch ahead of your opponent and create scoring out chances. This skill move right here, I was waiting for this skill move to be added into FIFA, because this hasn't been added ever, right? Because Quaresma used to do that. Quaresma and Neymar are the only players I've ever seen actually do this skill move in real life. So it's really cool they've actually implemented it into the game. It's just a cool thing to be able to do. They call it the Neymar trap, but Quaresma does it more often. But so that you could stay, enable close control, fluidity. First touch gets an overall skill specific, creating scoring, so you can create scoring chances. Cool. Quaresma better. Anyways, dynamic tactics. So this one is an interesting one, right? The reimagined tactical system gives players the tools to set multiple tactical approaches, deeper pre-match customizations, and new options for in-match adjustments. Each tactical approach combines formations, mentalities, and attacking defensive playstyles, so you can easily customize your play in any situation. So the way that this is interpreted in my brain, this is something that I've mentioned to people a lot in the past, is that you should be able to switch formations and tactics on the go with your D-pad, right? Because when you're playing a game, this is something that some people don't really understand. Sometimes when you're playing a game, right? Let's just say you're using the 4-1-2-2 bracket 2 in the beginning of the game, right? But you realize that the person that you're playing against is really exploiting your sides, and that's all he's really attacking because, you're playing a narrow formation. If you push one of the center mids out to the sides, then, they'll be able to exploit the middle and the sides because you're pushing that one dude out. So it'll be nice to be able to, on the fly, just change the formation to a 4-2-3-1 bracket 2 with the set tactics, the set tactics and instructions that I want that formation to do with the players that I have in that team, so that I can counter what my opponent is doing at that very moment. Now, the bad thing about this is that it'll be easier for people to score a goal and go park the bus right afterwards, but we'll see how the gameplay mechanics work, if that'll actually benefit someone or if that'll screw them over. Because the thing about people parking the bus when the game first came out was that since defensive thing, or the defensive AI in general, was very manual, like you had to do it yourself to defend, it wasn't really a big deal when people used park the bus before. But if they use park the bus now with defensive AI being as overpowered as it is right now, then it'll be really annoying. But I think this tactical approach, if that's how it's going to be, that's how it's going to go down. If it's about, changing your D-pad tactics and instructions and your formation on the trot as you're playing, that would be amazing. So, creating teams like you guys have seen in the past of the squad builders that I do, where, you try to put the best players in each position so that you can change to whatever formation. It's always nice to be able to switch a right mid to a center mid if you really need to, and so on and so forth, right? So if they can actually implement that into the game, it would be awesome. So 50-50 battles. User reactions and player attributes determine the outcome of loose balls duels across the pitch. Thanks to increased teammate intelligence and spatial awareness, every challenge matters in the fights for possession. So I don't really know what that means, because some of these things are just things that they have to say for the new game, right? So times finishing. So this is an interesting one that I was mentioning on Twitter the other day. Get another level of control over every shot with a time finishing system, which puts users in charge of how accurately they connect with the ball. Trigger a times finish by double tapping the shoot button when attempting a strike. The precision and timing of the second button tap determines the result of the contact. Before we continue, this new game mechanic is going to be an incredibly huge issue if they didn't fix the delay in their game, right? If they completely ignored the gameplay people talking about the delay in their game, that's going to be a really, really bad game mechanic, because every new game mechanic that they add into the game is always, always, always effective. Always. When they added driven shots, always effective. The first time they added a no-touch dribble, very effective. Those types of things, always effective when they add, right? So perfectly timed strikes increase the shot's accuracy and power, while poorly timed contacts make the shot more likely to miss the mark. Whether it's a hit from outside the box, a precision header, or a deft touch, time finishing adds a higher layer of control to finishing in FIFA 19. I wonder if they're going to do anything with like defending crosses and corners, because I wish it was like more skilled, but I'm not sure. I don't know how they're going to do those, like the 50-50 battles, right? Real player motion technology, the game-changing animation system which brought enhanced player personality and movement fidelity to EA Sports FIFA, is back with increased coverage of the entire pitch. Enhanced animations for tactical shielding, impact balancing, and physical jostling take realistic player movement responsiveness personality. Okay, so that's just like, that's just throwing in the mix, because we've seen that with like Raheem Sterling last year, where he kind of just does that like run animation that he does, right? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to Twitter, because I know that there's been like a few leaks with how the game actually is. So we're going to go ahead and see FIFA 19 tactics, because I remember this being, it was like a few pictures showing how the tactics work. Because it shows, so like the way that it worked, right, is that it showed, it's kind of like PES, right? Where it shows the way that the players move with the tactics that you assign to them. But I don't think I can find it right off the bat. But you know how PES does it, where they kind of like show you the dots of how the players move? That's what the leaks seem to be. So whether that's going to be the full release of the game, we don't know. But it just seemed really interesting to see how that's going to work. I actually remember exactly who had it. It was one of my dudes from the PES scene that had the picture for that. Let's see here. Let's see here. Here it is. So this is the one right here, right? So let me just go back to the YouTube video. So you can see here that they have the game plans, and you can actually see the dots. So you can see that they have the width, the depth, the defense, and all that stuff, right? So the bar goes up, the bar goes low, but you actually see the dots this time. That's something that I've always told people, right? That's why when I made the tactics videos, I was always trying to explain to people that I'm doing the best that I can to show you that everything will contradict each other. Like if you put higher width, but then you put your pressure, it'll cause this like misbalance, right? Or this balance of some sorts, right? So you could see that the bars go up or down. You could drop deep back. Apparently, it says here for free kicks, corners, defensive style. Like it's gonna have a different layer of tactics, which for me is awesome because I'm all about the specifics with the tactics. So it's definitely gonna be really interesting to see how that actually works out. But that is going to conclude the video for today. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, please drop a thumbs up on it. We're going to go ahead and show the trailer for FIFA 19. The Champions League, to be honest, the cinematic trailers that they make are always awesome. My hopes for the game, I keep saying chat because I stream more than anything. My hopes for the gameplay is for it to be consistent, but my hopes aren't really high up there because of previous years of FIFA. So I've already come to a point with my streams and my chat where whatever the gameplay is going to be, I'm just going to accept it for what it is, because in my opinion, I just think the dudes that work on the gameplay just don't really understand how to fix it, or are just and to put it in the smallest terms, just incompetent to fix the main issue with the game. So it is what it is, but that's just kind of like the situation that we're in. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video today. I will go ahead and show the trailer for the UEFA Champions League, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that will be. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Quando eu era criança, sempre sonhei em tornar-me um campeão. É preciso determinação e vontade de vencer. Até mesmo nos momentos mais difíceis, tu tens de continuar a acreditar. Esta é a tua oportunidade de te mostrares ao mundo. Tu és um campeão.